credit to be accelerated. Here are those two statements to the Commons, starting with her claims about the National Audit Office's thoughts on universal credit.
They said we need to continue with universal credit, and they also were concerned that it was rolling out too slow and that actually we should increase what we're doing. I want to apologise to you and the House for inadvertently misleading you. What I'd meant to say was that the NAO had said that there was no practical alternative to continuing with universal credit. We adopt a test and learn approach to the rollout of universal credit, which the NAO says mainly follows good practice, and therefore the point I was trying to make was that the calls from the party opposite to pause it seemed to fly in the face of those particular conclusions.
Well, I'm joined now by four people who are on universal credit to find out what they make of the Cabinet Minister's error. Don Locke has been on universal credit for 5 months. Sherry Fuller only started on universal credit 2 months ago. Elliot Benham is with us. He was on ESA until March when he decided to take himself out of the system and find work. And Brendan Faulkner has been recently moved over to universal credit and says that he is worse off. Thank you all for taking the time to talk to us. Sherry, let's start by talking to you. What did you make of the Minister's two statements this week?
Well, I think there was nothing inadvertent about what she presented to Parliament about the report. I think it was a deliberate misrepresentation of what they were actually saying, because it was the very opposite of what they were saying. They were advising caution, saying we've got some problems with the pilot, we're finding that a very high percentage of people are still experiencing hardship, there are some problems that need to be resolved, and they were suggesting that it be paused until that be rectified. They said it should be speeded up. So I think her statement was dreadful, and I think in any other profession, if you lied that blatantly, you would be fired. And I think her apology is just not good enough, quite frankly.
Don, what did you make of Esther Mcvey's comments this week in the House of Commons, of course?
I was going to make pretty much exactly the same talking point as Sherry, but I'd like to go further and say, to repeat Marsha de Cordova's pointing out in the ministerial code that ministers who knowingly mislead Parliament are expected to offer their resignation. So the defence of the minister in this case hinges entirely on it being an inadvertent error. I think that might be excusable if there was some correlation between what she was claiming